Good afternoon. So, shall we start, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We can start.
Good afternoon, all. On behalf of IOT Academy, I'll welcome you all for the one-day session of National Level Faculty Development Program on Effective Funding Proposal Writing. Let me introduce the resource person of today's session, Dr. Mahip Maniklalji Barpre. He is currently working as an Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, PR Road, Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati, Maharashtra. His qualifications include BE Computer Science and Engineering, MA Computer Science and Engineering, Doctorate in Philosophy in Engineering and Technology in Computer Science and Engineering. He has 13 years of teaching experience. He is a lifetime member of ISTE, an International Association of Engineers. He is a member of IFERP, an International Society for Research and Development. He is the supervisor for many MA and PhD students. He has published many research articles in national and international journals, attended several webinars, workshops, and faculty development programs. He has contributed book chapters on machine learning in steganography and stegananalysis, intrusion detection system for Internet of Things, blockchain for smart systems. He has presented many research papers in international, national conferences and seminars. With this, I hand over the session to Dr. Mahip. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind introduction. I am
Thank you,
very
sir.
happy that I am very thankful to IoT Academy for giving me an opportunity to share my views regarding writing the funding proposal. I start sharing my PPT.
The slides are visible, sir.
My slides are visible to you, ma'am.
Visible, sir. It is visible,
Okay.
sir. The slides.
Okay. So first of all, think okay. First of all, I welcome to all the participants who are joining this FDP. Again, I'm going to introduce myself in short. I am Dr. Mahip Bartare, currently working as an associate professor at PR Kote Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati. I'm here to discuss something regarding how to write the funding proposal. Because as we know that if we are working in any engineering college or in any other institution, every institution is expecting that whatever the faculties that are associated with us, they are going to write some proposals so that they can face the grant. Okay, so why it is important to face the grant? That is again one important aspect that every faculty keep in mind, because question mark create whenever NAC or NBA visit to your institute. First of all, there are several parameters we are having. As we know that in NAC there are 7 criteria. In NBA we are having some different criteria. But there is one most important criteria in NAC and NBA, and that is associated with the funding. NAC and NBA, these are the association. They are asking that how much grant you are fetching from the funding agencies, whether it is national or international. Okay, so most of the, I think there are some colleges which are continuously fetching the grant in every year. Like I can say that like IITs, NITs, triple ITs, these are the government colleges which are going to secure the grant in every year. But if we compare the ratio of government colleges with the private engineering colleges, in private engineering colleges, we can say that the ratio of fetching the grant from the government bodies is very less. Okay, so what is the problem? Because I thought that every private engineering college is also going to write some proposal. They are also submitting their proposal online through the website, but still they are not able to face the grant. So what is the problem? That is the first question. Then second, whenever we write any proposal and whenever we try to upload that proposal on web on a specific funding agencies through website, at that time, first of all, we should know what are the different funding agencies we are having, whether it is national or international. If I am going to talk about the funding agencies in India, I can say that AICT, I can say DST, I can say biomedical applications, I can say these are the national funding agencies we are having in our India. Okay, now what are the funding schemes we are having? These are the funding agencies. Now how we can writing the proposal, what topic we have to select. Okay, so how we can select the topic? For that purpose we have to think about the different funding schemes. So funding schemes may be related with the organization of international conference, or I can say the funding scheme is associated with the organization of faculty development program. You can also get the funding for traveling also. If you want to attend any international conference which is abroad, you can get the fund, you can write the proposal. AICT is also having different types of parameters where you can submit the proposal, like you can submit the proposal for RPS, like research promotion scheme. You can submit the proposal for GOC, I can say grant for organizing the conference. You can get the grant from AICT in the form of FDP, faculty development program. If you want to establish any lab in your college, then also you can get the grant from the AICT. Okay, so ModRops is again one of the facility which is going to be provided by the AICT committee, so that you can install the lab, because AICT consider that whatever, if you want to develop any lab, suppose if you want to install a machine learning lab in your institute, if you don't have much more amount of fund, if you don't get any kind of support from your institute, then you can write the proposal, upload the proposal on the AICT website, and then you have to think about whether your proposal is going to be accepted or not. If your proposal is going to be accepted by the AICT, then you will get the grant. Okay, so these are all parameters we have to think about how we can face the grant. So from here up to the end of my PPT, I'm just talking about some basic parameters which is very much required whenever we want to write any type of funding proposals. Okay, so again, I'm going to ask one more questions to ma'am. Ma'am, my voice and my PPTs are audible. My
Yes,
PPTs
sir,
are
your
visible.
voice is audible and your slides are visible.
Okay, okay. Now we will start one by one. What exactly we will discuss in this seminar. Okay. So first of all, we just talk about what are the different contents we will discuss in this session. First of all, whenever if you want to write any type of proposals, you have to think about your vision. Okay, because different funding agencies is having different types of schemes, and different types of schemes is having different types of criteria. Okay, so whenever if you want to write any type of proposals, at that time you have to think about whether your domain on which you are writing your proposal is associated with that specific aim or not. So what is your vision? So you have to think about your vision also. So in this seminar we will talk about some of the parameters which are associated with the vision, how we can, what is your aim, because whenever any fund, if currently what happened, AICT is going to call some proposal related with the FDPs. Okay, last year AICT secure one very good what you can say achievement, that they can put their name in the Guinness World Record book. How? Because they are going to conduct more than 1500 FDPs across India under the umbrella of AICT. So in this year also they are going to call this some proposals related with the FDP. If your college is eligible, that is there are some eligibility criteria, that is if your department is NBA accredited, if your department is having, if your college is having a very good NRF ranking, then you are eligible to apply for the FDP proposal on the AICT website. So before writing the proposal, you should know about your vision. Then whenever you write any type of proposal, at that time what contributions you are giving to that specific organization, that is very important. Because if some organization is going to pay to you for your research work, at that time they are expecting that they are getting something from you also. They are expecting some kind of valuable outputs which is going to be help them in future also. Okay, so whenever you write any type of proposal, what they are expecting that what type of contributions you want to provide. Okay, if you write any proposal and it does not have any very good outcomes, then your proposal is not good, and it does not have any use to organization also. Suppose AICT is calling some proposal regarding the ModRops. Okay, and if you write that, sir, we want to establish one machine learning lab in our college, we are having this facility, and you are expecting the amount like I need 20 lakh rupees. Okay, so if you are expecting that you need 20 lakh rupees, okay, so how you are going to establish the lab, what is the output, how you are going to train the students. Okay, at the end of the day, if you establish the lab, what AICT is expecting from you, AICT expecting that more than whatever the number of students you are having in your region, they are going to be trained on that specific lab in the field of machine learning. Okay, so what contributions you are giving, that is again one of the important parameter. Then third parameter we have to think about whether you are having some kind of preliminary results. Okay, suppose if you are writing any type of proposal which is related with the research, in AICT we are having one scheme, that is research promotion scheme. Okay, so if you thought that I am having a very good research work in the field during my ME project, or if you thought that I am having a very good work in my PhD work, okay, so whether can I extend my PhD work. Okay, so whatever the results you are getting during your PhD, okay, whether that result is useful for you. Okay, so that whenever you write the, because whenever we do any type of research work, suppose I am doing the PhD, I know that what is the future scope, what is the lacuna, so how we can overcome the lacuna. Okay, that is very important, you should know. Okay, so how we can come to know that what is the lacuna, because I already had, or I already given my 2-3 years on that research topic, I read various papers, and then I come to know that these are my results and these are the future scope. And this future scope, if I achieved, or if I am going to complete the gap in between my research work and the future scope, then I come to know that whatever the results that I am getting, it is useful for the society. Okay, so whenever you write any type of proposal, again you have to think about whether you are having some kind of criminal results, that on the basis of that you can write the proposal or not. Then sometimes it may be possible that you are not single enough to write any type of proposal. Okay, sometimes if you thought that I want to write one interdisciplinary funding proposal, which is going to require some knowledge related with the electronics, you require some knowledge related with the computer field, if you require some kind of knowledge from the mechanical. Okay, so in this way we want to write one interdisciplinary proposal. For that purpose we require 3 types of domain knowledge: one person from computer science, one person from electronics, and one person from the mechanical background. And then all of these 3 people are going to work together, but for that purpose you require some kind of laboratories, and that laboratory facilities is not available in your organization. Okay, then you have to think about your collaboration part, whether you are having some kind of MOUs, memorandum of understanding with some kind of industries, so that you can go there and complete your research work. Like that we can go for that. Okay, so again you have to think about whether you are having any collaborations. Okay, then we have to talk about in this seminar, then we have to think about, are you well informed about the prior results in the field? We already discussed this point a few minutes before that. Whenever if you write any proposal, again if you had some kind of prior results, then from that prior results you can come to know that these are my research gap, and we want to fill that research gap using this technology. Okay, so on the basis of that prior results we are going to try to provide the solutions which is going to be useful for the betterment of the society. Okay, so now these are the some basic point about the vision of the scholar. Whenever if you want to start writing the proposal, you have to think about this number of parameters. You have to think about how much contributions you are giving to the society, whether you are having some kind of preliminary results. On the basis of that you can start writing the proposal. If you are not single enough, can we go for the collaboration with the industries or with any other department or with any other government institute where the facilities for the research is available. Again you have to think about some prior results in the field. You did your research work, but some people are also doing the same kind of work in another field. Okay, so have you gone through all this research work? On the basis of that you can come to know that yeah, these are the results. On the basis of that we can move forward. Okay, then the second point again in this very important, that what type of grant we are getting. I already discussed some parameters, that is we are having some funding agencies. Okay, suppose we are having one AICT scheme. Okay, under AICT scheme we are having different types of funding schemes are available. On the basis of that we can face the grant. So what type of grant we are getting? We can get the grant in the form of sabbatical support. What is the meaning of this sabbatical support? I can say paid leaves. I can say if you are working on any research work and if you thought that I want to go abroad for 15 days, okay, I want to go for the traveling purpose so that I can collect the data from the another part of the universe, I can say. So in this way, still you are working in a college, you can go outside, you can go for your research work. If you go for a traveling purpose, if you want to attend any type of international conference, at that time also you can get the grant. Like in AICT you will get some traveling grant for attend any type of international conference. You can get the grant for research equipment. You are having a very good idea. Suppose if I am going to if I belongs to the civil engineering department, and I can say I can if I belongs to the mechanical engineering department, for some time of research work, at the end of the day I require some kind of physical equipment. On the basis of that, suppose if I am going to talk about the civil engineering, if I want to take the strength of a material, for that purpose I require one strengthening machine. Okay, so how I can buy that machine? If that machine is not available in my college, how can I go for that? So I can, whenever I can submit the proposal to the funding agencies, I can mention that for this I can say for this machine I require this much amount we require so that I can install this in my laboratory and I can go for the research work. So if you want to buy any type of equipment which is very useful for your research work, for that purpose also you can get the grant or fund. Then again, this is very important and this is very popular in the during the COVID time. I can say AICT is going to use this thing is very popularly. That is faculty or course development program. If you want to organize, any FDP or if you want to organize any course development program, for that purpose also you can get the grant from AICT. You can get the grant in the form of faculty development program. UGC is also going to provide some kind of funding for the organization of this FDP also. Travel support, we already discussed about this parameter also, that you are working on a research work and if you thought that this is not enough for me, I want to go outside, and if you want to collect some data from the another part, suppose if you are working on the civil engineering, if you belongs to the civil engineering, if you want to collect some data, okay, and if you want to go for traveling for the another part of the India, for that purpose also you can get the grant. In AICT you can get the grant in the form of traveling grant. Okay, so these are the various parameters we have to think about, or I can say the funding agencies will provide you the fund for these specific parameters that you are having. Okay, now whenever we start writing the proposal, what is important? If I am going to talk about the structure of the funding proposal, it is same which is relevant to your research paper. We can go for a title, then you can write some kind of abstract, then you are having some kind of keywords, then you can go for the introduction part. Then if you read 20-30 research paper, then you can go for the literature survey. After literature survey, you are able to identify some kind of problems, then we can go for the problem definition, that is going to be considered as a research gap. Then you are having some methodology by virtue of which we are going to provide the solution for the research gap. Then you are having some kind of results, and then you can go for the conclusion, and then you can go for the references. Okay, so how I can go for that? Because if I thought that I want to write one research proposal, or I can say if I want to write one research paper, what I need, I want to do the planning. What domain I have to select? Okay, in that domain, how much work already done? For that purpose, I want to read numerous amount of research papers. Okay, then after reading the research paper, I can come to know that one of the conclusion that these are the research gap. Okay, so we have to planning. Okay, so if you want to write any research paper, or if you want to write any research or funding proposal, at that time you have to go for a planning also. Okay, so you know that AICT call the proposal every year. Okay, suppose this year you miss to upload the proposal, you can miss the opportunity of uploading the proposal on the AICT website under the head of RPS, I can say research promotion scheme. Next year again it will get open, so you are having 1 year gap is available near to you. Okay, so you can start working on that. Okay, so you can begin the proposal process at least 1 year out. Okay, because what happened, research proposal cannot be done like that. You just sleeping in a night and you just wake up early in the morning. You are having one idea, and in 2 hours you write a proposal, upload the proposal on a website, and you can face the grant. No, this is not going to be happen. If you get such kind of proposal, then it is going to be miracle. Okay, so whenever you start writing the funding proposal, at that time you have to think about your planning. How I can go for that? Because in PhD also, if somebody told you, if your supervisor say that if I am working in the machine learning domain, okay, so identify what are the different works already done in the field of machine learning. So you require 1 or 2 years for literature survey. In similar way, in funding proposal also, while writing the proposal, you have to think about different parameters. So for that purpose, you require some time. Okay. Then in planning, we have to think about work backward from when you need the money. Because I can say, if you miss the deadline this year, next year also, AICT calls some proposal. Okay. They are going to give you the fund. Okay. So in this way, you are going to work backward. How much amount of money you require? Because at the end of the day, why you require the grant? You require the grant in the form of money. Okay, how much money you require? Once you start writing the proposal, once you start planning yourself, okay, how many number of equipments you require? What are the configurations of the equipments you required in your lab? So for that purpose, how much amount of money you require? Okay, and whatever the project that is going to be written by it should simply reflect that really, if I am the reviewer and you start writing the proposal and you upload the proposal on the website, I am the reviewer and I am going to start reading your research funding proposal, then I am going to click that, yeah, this topic is really good, this topic really useful for our beneficial to our society also, so we will provide the grant. Okay, so your project itself can work as a driver by virtue of which you can get the grant also. Okay, but whenever you start writing the proposal, you have to think about the internal funding deadline also, because there are different types of funding agency, whether it is national or international. There are funding schemes which are working in collaboration, like Indo-German we are having, Indo-Japan we are having, okay, Indo-China is not working currently, okay, Indo-USA, these are the different collaboratory schemes that we are having online, okay. That's why if you are a Indian author, okay, you have to identify one author from the Germany, okay, you have to identify the domain of that foreign author. If it is matched with your domain, then you can start together and you can upload the proposal on Indo-German website also, okay. But whenever, again, for that purpose you require planning, because it does not happen that, yeah, I need one German person which is very good in machine learning. I just search the website, okay, I identified the person, I call the person, or I can send the mail to that person and he said okay. No, that is not going to be happen. For that purpose you need to devote some kind of time. So what is time? Time is going to be utilized by one of the only way, and that is related with the planning. If you are having a very good plan, then and then only you are able to write a very good proposal within the time limit. Okay, so before writing the proposal, you have to think about planning part. This much amount of money I required, this much amount of equipment I required, this, if I am going to work as a collaborative funding proposal, I require some kind of MOU with the industries. If it is Indo-German, I require one foreign author which is whose domain is going to be matched with my domain. Okay, so in this way, these are the different parameters we have to think about while start writing the proposal. So planning is very important. Then most of the time, if any funding agency is going to be called for any type of proposal, most of the time as a faculty or as a author, I am not able to identify some terms. Okay, so sometimes there are some basic terms which are associated with the funding agency, that is grant, gift or fellowship. Basically fellowship is related with the, if you are working as a, if you want to go in a foreign country in the form of postdoc fellowship, I can say, if you want to work after the PhD, okay, so for that purpose you can get the as a PDF, you can work as a fellowship. It means that you can get the amount for your stay, your work, your traveling also. Okay, so grant, gift and fellowship, these terms are associated to give you the grant for your work. Okay, so the next is advertisement. There are some agencies which can float their requirement through some kind of advertisement, through websites or through some newspaper, okay, or through some of the, I can say there are some websites where you can get the all the details, like if I am going to visit the research proposal websites, I can get the all the call. Okay, so if you got the word as a RFP or CFP, so RFP stand for request for proposal. Okay, there are some agency which is going to be call you as a in the form of request that you can submit your proposal, or you can go for CFP, call for proposal, both are same. The next term you came across is FOA, that is funding opportunities announcement. It means that there are some funding agencies, they are going to float their advertisement through website and they call the young buddies or young engineers to submit their ideas, by virtue of which they are going to use their idea for the beneficial of the society. Okay, so funding opportunities, we can say this is another term where you are getting some kind of opportunity to submit the proposal. Solicitations, there are some colleges also which can call the some proposals, so that, because what happen, sometimes it may be possible that if one of the college face the grant, okay, if suppose I can say, if college A face the grant of 20 lakh rupees, okay, and but that college does not have sufficient amount of resources, by virtue of which, or I can say they are not getting a person who is having a very good knowledge to complete that project, so I can go for the solicitation also. Then dear colleague letter, it is again term I already discussed, we already discussed these things currently, that if one of my person one of my colleague is working one of the college, but he don't have a very good knowledge about the machine learning, then he can send the letter to me. Yeah, Dr. Mahib Bhatta, you can came to my laboratory. I'm having this amount of, I'm having this project work. We have to complete this project work in 6 month amount of time. I will give you this amount, this much amount of stipend. Okay, so you can write this, you can get a letter in the form of dear colleague letter, letter of intent or concept paper. Sometimes it may be possible that there are some government institute, most of the government institute are working on this parameter, that is letter of intent. They are going to send the letter to the another private institutions or government agencies where they can call the budding engineers, or which they are going to call some, I can say, some person who is having a very good knowledge, they are having a very depth knowledge in this, in that specific field, so they can send the letter of intent to them also. Okay, so first of all you have to go for a planning. Okay, then after planning you have to think about some parameters which are associated with the grant. Whenever you fund, whenever you get the advertisement on the website, these are the some of the terms came into in front of you again and again. Then how to search for a funding. If you write a proposal for machine learning, you are not able to upload that proposal on the electronics or funding scheme which is working on the electronics parameters. Okay, so you have to think about your domain, and on the basis of domain you have to identify your funding agencies. Okay, so how you can search for the funding, you are going to give some kind of time. Again, this search for funding, this again comes under the part of planning also. You write the proposal, now you have to fit that proposal in one of the specific agency. What we did in research paper also, you write one research paper, and if you want to upload that proposal on the elsewhere website, okay, so for that purpose you have to identify that specific, there are different number of journals are available, you have to identify a specific journal which is associated with your research work. Okay, see, in similar way in funding also, whenever if you want to upload your proposal on a specific funding schemes, for that purpose you have to search on what where your proposal is going to be fit. Again, it will require some amount of time. Then you can search the fund using online resources. We are having online sources. There are some online sources we are having. You can use Google, or you can use some of the websites which are available, which are very famous. You can go for the AICD website. You can go on the DST website. You can get the online sources where the funding is going to be called. There are some foundation also. Okay, foundations are nothing but these are the private industries. Some of the private industries also going to call some ideas regarding some kind of problem. Sometimes it may be possible that there are some multinational companies which are working on one of the project, okay, and they are start working on that project, but at one of the instance they failed, that this is the problem arise. Now how I am going to provide the solution for that specific problem. So for that purpose also they are going to call for funding, or they are going to call some research persons to submit the proposal so that they can provide the solution. Federal grant, again, if you work your India and UK, these two persons, the author from two different countries want to work together, you can go for the grant.gov. These are the federal grants. You can see, you can able to know what are the different funding agencies we are having, what are the fundings are open. Okay, you can search and go for that. Then private organization, sometimes IITs and IITs people are using this concept very frequently. I think you might have one word, that is junior research fellowship and senior research fellowship, GRF and SRF. Okay, so basically you can see this term whenever IIT people, I think this word, you might see this word during the advertisement of IIT. IIT is going to face some grant, okay, but they are not having, they are not getting, or they are not having very much, I can say they are not having very good people to work on that. So they are going to call from GRF and SRF. So they are working as an assistant to that specific fellow so that they can complete the proposal. Every person in this universe is going to use the Google for searching any type of data. So you can take the use of Google for searching the fund and where the proposal is going to be called or where it is going to be open. Or you can use some kind of references from your friends who have already faced some grant, or who is already having a very good experience of writing the proposals, or they are having a very good knowledge in the field of funding, how to face the grant. You can take the help of them also. So these are the different numerous ways by virtue of which we can searching for a funding agency or funding schemes. So again, what is important, you are start searching for the funding agencies. Okay, now it is very important for you whether it is a right source or not. Sometimes it may be it may be possible that some of the person who is going to create a fake website, they are going to use they are going to call some ideas from your side. Okay, you can write your idea, you can submit the proposal. Now what they can do is they are going to they can use your idea as their own, and they can upload their own proposal. So this may be possible. Okay, so while searching the proposal, you have to think about whatever the website you are referring, whether that website is original website or not. Is it fake? Okay, and then you have to think about some parameters, that is, are you eligible? Now what is the meaning of eligibility? Whenever any author want to upload any type of proposals on the website, for that, before submission of the proposal, you have to think about the eligibility. Like there is one eligibility, that whether your college is a NAC A grade, whether your department is NBA accredited, where your principal investigator is PhD or not. Then have you already submitted some kind of, have you fetched any type of grant previously? Okay, so these are some types of eligibility terms. So while uploading the proposal, you have to think about the eligibility criteria. Then second parameters you have to think about, does your goal meet the funder's mission? This is very important, because most of the person I can say they are going to clear, they upload the proposal, and after the 6 months they can say that I did not get any type of responses from that funding agency. So why it is possible? I will give you one simple example. Suppose I am one of the reviewer, and I am working with the Journal of Machine Learning. Okay, I am the reviewer of Machine Learning journal, and one of the student fellow upload the research paper, and the domain of that research paper is associated with the blockchain technology. Okay, he upload the proposal on my website, and as a reviewer, what I am expecting, that whatever the papers which came to me which is related with the machine learning, but if I get the paper which is associated with the blockchain technology, it means that there are some problem. So how I can reply him? I can tell them only one sentence, that I can write one sentence, that your research paper does not meet the requirement of our journal. So you can identify one journal which is associated with your research domain. Okay, so in this way, this is one of the example that I can say you, that you have to think about the funder's mission. Then you have to think about the grant size, whether the grant size fit your project or not. Suppose I can give you one more example that is associated with the AICT. AICT call for the GOC, grant for organizing the conference, and that for that purpose they provide you the grant of rupees around 5 lakh rupees. Okay, how much amount they are giving to you? 5 lakh rupees. You write one proposal, and you are right in that proposal you explain, you write that I need 8 lakh rupees for organizing the conference. What is the expectation? Your expectation is 8, and what is the grant size of AICT? 5 lakh. Again, it is going to be rejected. And timing work. Sometimes this timing work, how you can come to know the timing? In how much amount of time I want to upload my, in how much amount of time I want to submit my research model? What is the timing? Again, it is going to be mentioned in point number 1, that is eligibility criteria. In eligibility criteria, it is already mentioned that from the date of the getting the fund, you are having 24 months, and in that 24 months you have to submit the proposal. So this is the timing work. If you are failed to follow the timing work, then it will create the problem, because when you face the grant, at that time there are some kind of terms and conditions are also associated with that also. Okay, you can write I agree. Most of the time what happen, as an Indian, what we can do is, whenever you can see any checkbox, I agree, by default you did not read anything, you just check on the click box, I agree, and you can submit. Okay, so you have to think about the timing work also. The timing work is mentioned in your eligibility criteria. So timing, you have to think about the duration of the project also, because if you fail to follow the duration, it may be possible that there can some kind of problems occur. Okay, so you have to think about the resources that we had. When you start your planning, you identify what are the different grants I am having, you start writing the proposal. Now, when you visit the website, what is important? You have to read the website thoroughly. You have to identify the eligibility criteria. Take your time, read the instructions again and again, because what happens most of the time, we are going to forget. If you are not able to identify the meaning of one single line, it will create the problem. You do lots of research work. Okay, you will give your 1 year for that, for writing that proposal, and if you not able to understand the guidelines, then your proposal is going to be rejected directly. Suppose I can say there is one eligibility criteria for submission of the proposal, that is whether your department is NBA accredited or not. And my department is not NBA accredited, and still I am submitting the proposal. By default, it is going to be rejected. Reviewer not scrutiny team we are having. Any funding agency is having a scrutiny team. They can see your research proposal. They can see whether NBA is yes or no. If it is no, directly it is going to be rejected. Okay. So while uploading the proposal, before uploading the proposal, reread all the instructions which is given on the website, so that your time is not going to be waste. Similarly, as your time is important, in similar way, the time of funding agencies are also very important. Otherwise, what happen if you do such kind of silly mistake? First time you upload the proposal, you are not NBA accredited, it is rejected. Second time, again you are not NBA accredited, still you are going to upload the proposal. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, such things are happened. Next time it may be possible that still you are writing a very good proposal, it is not going to be considered. Okay, so such things are going to be happen sometimes in your life. So before uploading the proposal, reread all the guidelines which is given on the website. Okay, so what are the different tricks we have to think about? So if you want to write a very good proposal, how you can write a very good proposal, that is the first thing. What contents you require? The contents, what is the content requirement? It is going to be mentioned in your guidelines, because whenever any funding agency call for any type of funding proposal, at that time they mention their aim, what they are expecting from that proposal, and on what problem they are expecting this solution, it is mentioned on a website. Okay, so on what are the expectations they are having, by considering that thing in your mind, you start writing the proposal. Okay, so while writing the proposal, you have to think about how we can write a successful proposal. If your proposal meet the requirement of a funding agency, then I can say that your proposal is very good. Okay, so unnecessary, I will give one example. If I give you some amount of money, what I'm expecting, that I'm expecting some kind of work from you. If a person is working in any shop, okay, as an employee, what businessman is expecting, that he's having, if I pay 10 rupees, he has to give me the work of 10 rupees in reply. In a similar way, any funding agency is having some kind of problem, you have to write a proposal in such a way that it can provide the solution. If your proposal is very good, then and then only you are able to get some kind of money from that funding agency. The second thing we have to think about, tell everyone about your project. Now, the question arises, sir, you are talking about I have to write the proposal, and now you can say that, sir, why I can say my idea to other people? It may be possible that he are going to steal my idea. He is going to steal my idea. So why this term is important? This term is some kind of having some kind of specific meaning. If you thought that one of my very good friend is working in IIT, he is also having a very good knowledge, so I can discuss the project with him. He is having some kind of good ideas, so that by 2 or 3, if you are having a very good 2 or 3 persons which is very good in your field, and if you are having a very good trust on them, then you can discuss the project and then you can start writing. This is again one of the way to get the idea, because if you are having a 2-3 very good brains, then you can get very good ideas, because single person is not single enough to give the idea. He is not having a very good I can say vision of all the terms. So sometimes if you are having a very good friend in the another good colleges, so you can associate it with them. Then relationship with the program officer, again it is one of the trick, so that you can face the grant. Whenever you visit any type of website, at the end of the guidelines, you can see one of the name who is going to be work as a program officer, who is going to select or who is going to accept your proposal, scrutiny team you are having, and then it is going to go for the reviewer. Okay, so you have to maintain the relationship with the program officer. Okay, so why this program officer is important? Now again one question came into your mind, how I can get the information about the program officer? I already told with you. I already discussed this thing. At the end of the guidelines, you can see the name of the program officer. So you can request that program officer by sending the email that I want to have some kind of conversation, 15-minute conversation, so that we can maintain the relationship. This term, we are not going to tell the program officer directly. We're just requesting him that, sir, kindly give me 15 minutes. I'm having some doubt so that I can discuss with you, and then you can start writing the proposal. In this way, you can maintain the relationship. If possible, you can attach your one-page summary to the, and you can send to the program officer so that he can give you some kind of idea, yeah, whether it is applicable to his schemes, funding schemes or all not. Okay. This third point is very important. Most of the time, most of the author, what they are doing, what problems they are having, they did not go on thoroughly through the guidelines. Okay, all the guidelines are mentioned, and still author is going to ask one question whose solution is already available on the website. That's why I write over here, only ask questions not provided on website or in the guidelines. Okay, if you ask the question which is available in the website or a guideline, it means that what program officer consider, he consider that, or she consider that you did not read all the guidelines, you are not a very good researcher, I can say. Okay, and then you have to think about, will they review a draft? It may be possible that before uploading the proposal, you can request a program officer, sir, I am having one idea, can you give me some kind of suggestion by virtue of which I can go for some kind of external agency, or I am having some kind of external person who can review my draft, so that after reviewing, if I get some kind of changes, I can do the changes and then I can write the proposal. So these are the some of the tricks that you have to think about. You have to maintain the relationship. You are having a very good conversation with all of them. Ask the question which is not available on a website. That is very important. So these are the different types of tricks that you have to keep in mind. Now we have to start about writing the proposal. So while writing the proposal, you have to think about the structure of your proposal. While writing the proposal, that is when we start planning. Okay. So what is your audience? Suppose AICT call the proposal for FDP for faculty in the field of construction management. So what is your audience? Your audience are associated with the faculty in the construction engineering department. Okay. So in this way, you can know your audience. While writing the proposal, you have to think about for which person you are writing the proposal. Then you have to write an outline, that is by using a request for proposal headings and reviewing criteria. As we know that whenever we see the advertisement regarding the request for proposal, at that time we have to read all the guidelines, we have to go on through the different types of reviewing criteria, and then you can start writing the proposal. Then you are having some kind of idea, then you can prepare some different types of drafts. Okay, you are expect to prepare several drafts. So how you can develop the proposal? You have to think about, you have to create some several drafts. In one draft you are having some idea, in second draft you are having some different idea. If you are having some kind of MOUs, you can go for an industry person, you can take the idea and you can write the proposal. Sorry. So you have to prepare some extra draft by virtue of which you can start writing the proposal. Sometimes it may be possible that you are not single enough to know each and everything. Then what you can do is, before uploading of the proposal or by writing the proposal, you can take the comment who is very good in that research work. Okay, so you can take the help of your colleague, you can take the help of your friends, you can take the help of your teacher, under the guidance of whom you completed your PhD or ME work. Okay, so who is having a very good knowledge from that specific discipline, you can ask you can give your proposal to him, you can take the comment, and on the basis of the comment you can do some kind of modification in your proposal. Then use grant writing resources. Sometimes it may be possible that while writing the funding proposal, you did not mention the resources. So suppose if you are writing the proposal in the field of civil engineering, at that time it may be possible that you require some kind of resources. So the resources cost is also mentioned in the proposal development. Otherwise what happened? Funding scheme provide you the amount of 20 lakh, you writing the proposal 15 lakh. The proposal is going to be accepted, and then after that you can say that no, I forget to mention the resources amount. So such thing cannot be happen again. And if your proposal is good enough, you upload your proposal, if your proposal is going to be transferred to the reviewer committee, and if reviewer committee is asking some questions to you, answer the questions of answer the reviewer questions wisely. Okay, so these are the some of the parameters we have to think about whenever we develop our proposal, funding proposal. So what are the different reviewer questions you are having? Okay, because what happened, you one or two person writing the proposal, and your proposal is going to be analyzed by a team of reviewer. Okay, so every reviewer is having different type of aspects to look towards your research work. If you see 6 from one side, you can say it is 6. From another side, it can say 9. On another side, someone is going to call it as a C. On another side, it is going to be considered as a D or a B, small b. Okay, so every reviewer is having a different aspects to look your research work. Okay, so sometimes you will see some kind of review question like that. What is the intellectual merit? Now, what is the meaning of intellectual? What is the I can say what is new in your research work, which is not already done? How important is the project to advancing the knowledge and understanding within its own field or across the field? Intellectually means what is new, I can say. So whatever the proposal that is going to be written by you, whether it is going to be having some kind of good knowledge, it consists of very good knowledge. After the completion of this research work, we are having a very good idea, and we can go for a very good solution. All the societies having lots of problems. Can we overcome some kind of problems by our solutions? Then what is the impact? I can say, what is the broader impact? It means that whatever the activity that is going to be done from your side, it is having some kind of advanced discoveries, or if you want to promote your research work. Okay, so while promoting, I can say whether it is related with the teaching, or whether it is associated with reading, or it is going to be associated with the learning. So on what parameters you are working currently? What is the impact? Whether it can create the impact in the teaching field, whether it can create the impact in the training field, or it can create the impact in the learning field. It will be disseminated. It means that whatever the research work that you are having, whether it is really good, or it can provide the solution for the given problem. What are the benefits to the society? Because that is very important. Currently, what happened from last few years, when we are facing the problem related with the corona, from that time onwards, or before that also, every agency is talking about whether that solution is also beneficial for the society or not. If you are a very good environmental engineer, okay, can you overcome, can you provide some kind of solution by virtue of which we can stop the pollution? Okay, so whether it is, whether your research work is having some kind of idea by virtue of which we can solve some kind of problems which are associated with this society. So these are some of the basic merit by virtue of which a reviewer can ask the question to you. Okay, so these are the some of the templates which are associated with the reviewer's question. Then it may be possible that he is going to talk about PI and co-PI. PI stands for principal investigator and co-PI stands for co-principal investigator. Whether they are qualified for any type of, whenever you submit your proposal. Okay, so your principal investigator, the general guidelines are like that. Your principal investigator is a doctorate faculty. Co-PI is a ME faculty. So whether qualification meets the requirement or not, how you can come to know the qualification? Again, it is going to be mentioned in the eligibility criteria on the website. Whether your proposed project is feasible, really whatever you suggest, whatever you write in your research work, whether you are able to complete that proposal in a feasible amount of time or in feasible amount of money, whether it is, what is the feasibility study of your research work. Then whatever the fund that are going to be requested from your side, you are expecting 20 lakh rupees, and after reading your research work, my reviewer committee say that in 20 lakh it is not possible, it required 30 lakh rupees. Okay, again your reviewer question are that whatever the amount you are expecting, 20 lakh rupees, but in 20 lakh rupees it is sufficient for you, or you require more amount of money after that? Kindly analyze again. It may be possible that you can get this some kind of queries from your reviewer. Then how will be the project can be your evaluated? At the end of the day, whatever the project that is going to be written from your side, how I can evaluate your project, how you can see your project development, whether that project is good or bad, how it is beneficial for the society, how it can provide the solution for my problem, why I will give you such amount of money. Okay, in this way your project is going to be evaluated. So you have to mention what are the parameters I have to think about for the evaluation of your research work. So these are the some of the reviewers questions that you have to that is going to be asked by the reviewer committee after uploading of the funding proposal. Now writing style. Each and every funding scheme is having some kind of writing style. Writing style means that you have to follow some formats. Okay, so on every funding scheme is going to provide you the ready-made format. You have to just put your details in that specific format and upload. Okay, so whenever some format is given to you on your website, you have to format your research proposal on the basis of guidelines provided on the website. Okay, if they say that I need the font as a Times New Roman 24, line spacing 1.5, so you have to format your proposal as a Times New Roman 24 and line spacing in the form of 1.5. Then write for general public. Whenever you start writing the proposal, do not use some kind of complex words. Write as simple as you can so that your proposal is easily understandable to your reviewer committee. To write your proposal in a simple language I can say. Use third person. Most of the time what happen, whenever I write the proposal, I thought that I thought that whatever I write, it is correct. Okay, so I am not able to identify the different types of problems, different types of I can say silly mistakes that I already did in the proposal. So what I can do is I will take the help of one person who is very good in English. So he can help me to read my proposal. He can say, yeah, sir, here you can mill. Here you are going to do some kind of mistake in the tenses. Okay, no jargons. That is very important. Do not write anything which is not in your control while doing your research work. Be concise. Be concise means that whatever the problem which is mentioned on a website, you are writing this proposal for providing the solution of that specific problem. So be specific. First sentence as a main point. Whenever you start writing the proposal, your abstract is very important. As we know that while uploading the research paper, abstract is important. In similar way, while uploading the research work or research proposal, your sentence is very important. And then spell check. While uploading the proposals, you have to think about your spelling mistakes. Okay, otherwise what happen? Most of the time what we are doing is spelling mistakes. So such things cannot be happen while writing the proposal. Now you have to think about the budget. Budget is again very important part. As we know, if I am the PhD scholar and I thought that I don't have much more amount of money so that I can complete my research work, in that case I start writing one proposal, uploaded on the funding agencies, on the funding websites, and then I can get the grant. So for that purpose I have to think about my budget. So this budget will help you to plan your research project, on what research project you are working on. Then what parameters you require for that, how much amount of money you require under different types of heads. For that purpose you can use Excel spreadsheet. Okay, if you thought that your research work required 5 lakh rupees and funding schemes or funding agency provide you 4 lakh rupees, how you can overcome the difference of this 1 lakh rupee? Whether you can get some kind of internal fund from your own organization. If not, you can refer some kind of OSR. There are some offices which are going to provide you some kind of sponsored research which is associated with your institutional data. You can get the approval from the OSR, Office of Sponsored Research. If you thought that my budget is this much amount of budget I required, so if your research work is good, also you can get the budget from this OSR also. So what are the different budget terms? We already talked about principal investigator and co-principal investigator. Sometimes there one more term, that is principal director again, or primary director I can say, project director I can say. Participant, if you are writing a proposal related with the FDP, then you have to think about the budget. If you are organizing any conference, then participant came to your college, they required food, they required stay, they required accommodations, all. Okay, so for conference attendee, you have to think about the budget. Fringe benefit, sometimes it may be possible that due to some problem, if any participant is having some kind of physical health issues, so how we can go for the insurances. Again, you can mention that term in budget in your proposal. Then facility cost, sometimes it may be possible that if you organize any international conference, you give one pen, you give one diary, you give one file to the, it is not going to be came back to your again. Okay, So this is the consumable. Again, consumable thing mentioned in the budget. Then matching fund by the institute. Sometimes if you go for the some kind of advertisement, again you can mention the inside in budget. Okay. So these are the different types of things we have to keep in mind under the budget head while writing the proposal. So there are some internal processes while uploading the proposal or when you upload your proposal. Okay. So complete your proposal as a, I can say, as a form of early notifications. You can having different types of forms which is available on a website. So you are going to design your proposal as per the format given on the website. Okay. Then you have to determine the share. If you thought that if you require some kind of money from your organization, this if you write a proposal for 5 lakh and if you get the grant of 4 lakh from agency, so whether you can get that 1 lakh from your institute, you have to clarify this thing. Then what are the consideration if your organization is going to pay some amount to you, there is also one form is available, you can complete the process. Okay, you have to complete your proposal routing. Okay, whenever if you want to upload the proposal, complete as early as possible before the deadline, so that it will not create the problem while uploading the proposal. Sometimes it may be possible that at the end of the day, suppose today is the last day, 5 p.m. and I start uploading the proposal. Sometimes it may be possible that my server is not working properly. Okay, so 1 week before start uploading the proposal, there are some formats are required from your organization. So you complete the process. Format is given on a website. Okay, and stay connected with your OSR. Okay, by virtue of which you can follow the timeline. After following all the guidelines, then you can go for the submission. You can submit your proposal. Then think about whether whatever the proposal which is written from your side, it can complete the requirement of the funding agencies. It can provide the solution of that specific problem. Okay, whether you attach all the specific attachment on your website or on your website, whether you upload all the formats. Okay, and then give some time to the reviewer or a funding agency to initially screen your funding proposal. So in this way you can submit your proposal. Once you successfully submit your proposal, from last few years what happened, if you are in Google form, what we can do is when if I write if in Google form I write name, if I make it compulsory, if you don't write the name, it is not going to be submitted. In similar way, what funding agency has also follow the same practices. They are going to make all the field as a compulsory. If you forget to upload anything, they will pop one message that you have to upload this format also. Okay, so they are also smart enough so that they are not going to, or author cannot having much more amount of problem where it can create the error while uploading the proposal. Okay, so website is also having some kind of I can say some limitations. If they mark it as a star, it means that it is a compulsory. If you don't upload that document, your proposal is not going to be submitted. Once you follow all the criteria, then I can say that your proposal is successfully uploaded. Okay, so I can say your proposal is successfully uploaded. After the uploading of your proposal, you are going to relax and wait for the reviewer comments, or you can wait for a message or a mail from the funding agency. So this is from my side. Thank you very much. Hope whatever I discussed with all of you, it is very useful for you so that you can understand. I also want to share one of the video with all of you, but I think I am having some kind of problem. I will share that video with the organizer team so that they can circulate, so that they can share with all of you. Okay. So
Yes,
thank you very much.
sir. The session is open for discussion now. You can post your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute and directly interact with the resource person. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. What is the importance of that video? In that, the video is around 2.5 minutes, I can say 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That video complete all the stuff. What we have to start and what we have to end. I will share that video with the organization team so that they can share with all of you. Thank you, ma'am. I am having that video in my mobile also, but it is not going to be play right now. It will say that meet is also run. So I'm sorry for that from my side.
You can post your questions in the chat box also.
Am I able to see the chat box? Okay. Okay. If somebody is posting in a chat box, I will see the chat box. If you want to connect with me, or if you want to know how I can, if you are having any problems or while writing the proposal, you can anytime you can send me the mail on my mail address. The mail address is my mail ID is, if you want to write, you can write. My mail ID is mahip.birthday@gmail.com. Whatever the queries that you are having, you can write your query and send the mail to me so that I can help you. Otherwise, you can take the help from, I think, organizer team. They are also having my mail ID. You can take the mail ID from them also. Thank you.
Any questions?
Please send the video through IOT.
Yeah, ma'am.
Please send the presentation through IOT, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I will share definitely.
Okay.
We will be sharing.
Your email ID also please send, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
What is your? I will. Okay, I will. Okay. Where is the chat box? Check for chat box. I'm going to stop sharing. Now I will check about the chat box. You can write my mail ID, ma'am. My mail ID is mentioned in the chat box. I will mention my mail ID. My mail ID is mahip.bartere, BARTERE @gmail.com. Gmail.com. Sorry, there is some writing mistake.
Sir, I have shared it, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You can also share my mobile number also to them, ma'am, so that they can connect me if they are not
Yes,
having
sir.
enough
Yes.
amount. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
I have shared, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. So nice of you.
Thank you, sir. Participants, any more questions?
There are two possibilities, ma'am. If they can understand each and everything, or because most of the time, what happened from last few years, 5 days back, I delivered one session in my college, also in the one of the FDP. At that time, some people ask some question and some people does not ask anything. It is an offline workshop, so I am just in a dilemma that whether they can understand something or not. So if they understand each and everything, I am very happy. If they are having some kind of a dilemma, if they are having some kind of queries, if they don't want to ask on this platform, you can personally ping me on my WhatsApp or you can send the email. Okay, I will get back to you. I will definitely reply to all of you.
So, shall we wind up, sir?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of IOT Academy, I thank Dr. Mahip, sir, for the very innovative and detailed, informative, and enlightening session. And thank you for the very nice and beneficial presentation, sir. Your tips and techniques will be very useful for all the teachers here. And I thank you very much, sir. I thank all the participants for joining the session. Kindly submit the feedback form using the link that has been posted in the chat box. Thank you all. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, IoT Academy, for giving me opportunity. I am available whenever you require my services. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, IoT Academy. Thank you to all the participants for their patience listening. And I hope that after this session, you will start writing the proposal, and then you can add some feathers in your resume so that you can face the grant from the funding agency. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome.
Ma'am, shall I leave the meeting, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank
Okay,
you,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I will share the video with you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.